Hello.
Hey, Marina.
I could go give it at least a couple minutes, even though it might just be us.
Just in case. I was going to start looking through the makefile next.
We can probably get started. So it'll be mostly a check-in, unless you have anything bigger you want to talk about. Yeah. So yeah, I've mostly been working on the GitHub Actions and then getting the GoTough delegations stuff. Thank you for the review of that. I was staring at that for a number of hours trying to figure out why it wasn't running the action on that repo.
One little character.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
So anyway, so that's kind of where stuff is. I saw that you made a PR for the Go format. I have not had a chance to do a detailed look at that. It looks pretty short though, so that should be easy enough.
Yeah, didn't do too much on that one. The big change on that was I put a test around the Go format. So if there was any output in that at all, it would stop the build.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because otherwise people just ignore it. If it says green, it's good. They never dig into it.
Yeah, exactly. We want that to turn red if it's wrong. Yeah. Perfect. What else? Yeah, I'm hoping that maybe this week I'll actually finish working on the GoTough delegations and be able to get back to working on the CLI stuff. But otherwise, I'm trying to think if there's anything that needs more discussion than that. Do you have any updates you want to share other than that?
Mouse is not unmuting when I click this thing now. I think the only other thing I was going to look at was just taking a quick makefile. So I was going to knock that out. Wouldn't take me too long to knock that part out since I've got other Go projects. So that was the other big thing. Otherwise, looking at the code itself, I was thoughts going around of whether or not it made sense to do any kind of reorging or shuffling of stuff in there or not.
Yeah.
You've got the command in there for the one project I wasn't sure. And I won't break anything that's you've got half working right now, but just one of the thoughts that was going through my head.
I'm not, I just put things in places where they worked. It's not like a particularly organized thing.
There is a Go it's like a layout that they use, standard project layout. Drop this link over here. I'm not sure if you ever looked at this one before, but they've got what they consider the normal thing for like CMD, internal PKG, their directory structure.
Okay, yeah, that'd be nice. I did the CMD part, but I don't think I organized the library piece of it at all yet. So
yeah, so I'll drop this link. I'll put it in the, since we've got our little HackMD.
Notes. Do this
so many tabs, so little time. Yeah, the stuff they put in there is, like I say, like the CMD and package and vendor and API and web and whatnot. They've got some names for what they expect things would be across a lot of projects. And so when I was first looking here, I was like, okay, everything is over on the Tough Notary directory, not just the top level, and kind
Oh
of bounced around
yeah,
a little
that
bit.
was mostly, I think, because there's docs and code in there. I don't know what, maybe I should make a docs folder instead, but I just wanted to separate those a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, they usually go with the docs for their stuff, I
Mhm.
believe. See
Yeah,
if they've got it.
we factor that up. That'd be fine too.
Yeah, they go with the docs. Um, that was the only little piece in there that I was seeing. It was nothing major, and
Yeah.
I figure usually fixing that is more intrusive on other people that are working on it than anything else. So I usually hold off on that until things are in a point where people aren't messing around a whole lot.
Yeah, makes sense. It might actually be a good time for it just before we get it's, I don't know if anyone ever will depend on this, then, we want to get this fixed before that. So,
This is true. This is true.
um, okay, so that'd be great. And then,
Yeah, looking at the PR that I submitted real quick on that one. I did shuffle around the order. I put the build at the end instead of before the test. I figured build after the test run.
yeah.
And I put a go get at the top, which pulls in all the dependencies. That just makes the check for the format and the vet look a little prettier. They're not showing a bunch of output in there. It's just
Oh yeah,
the
that way, yeah,
dependencies have already been
before
pulled.
any of the things makes sense.
And then I included a go vet in there as well. That's a little, I think it's a little bit more like linting.
Okay.
And right now nothing popped up. So I said, well, now is a good time to throw that in there before
Yeah.
people start putting breaking changes. So put both of those in there, and I put the check on to make sure it was only running when it was on the Ubuntu 117 build.
Mhm.
Because what I've seen in at least my local testing is that Go Thumped would get updated with newer versions of Go. And so you didn't want to mix the version. So you just say everybody just stick with the latest, and then we'll do all the comparisons against that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So that way
And the
it's not
change,
failing on old versions all the time.
yeah, the changes they put in there are stuff that should be backward compatible. They've got the 1.0 promise, so they shouldn't break anything, but they just might have a new format going forward. And so I just stuck with the latest version.
Yeah, and I think format is more likely to include accidental breaking stuff than other things. So that's probably fine.
It's, they're not going to break something with an extra tab in there. What they do is they throw an extra comment at the top of the file that says this is a file that's just for Windows versus for, they got their syntax for how they do it. And then it looks like it must have changed between 116 and 117 because it broke my local test. And
well, we can probably just stick with 117. Should be good.
It was an extra comment. And so I was just like, hey, one extra comment. I wasn't breaking, changed to 116, but it was just, if you went to 117, they just had an extra line. All of a sudden, all my tests were failing or go Thump not change anything. I was like, well, it's time for me to upgrade my local environment then.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think other than that, yeah, that was all I put in that PR. Any stuff on your side that you'd like help with other than me throwing together a make file, which is the part that I can do quick?
Let's see.
Questions on like the registry side, anything over there?
Yeah, I should probably actually, let me look at that old PR. I want to see if I should follow up on whether that Aura stuff has caught up. Where's maybe I added a comment in here somewhere about that. Yeah.
Challenge on some of the stuff in Aura is going to be that they're depending on the registry with the reference types in the registry itself. And so
yeah, so it looks like this PR that I referenced was merged. So they probably have the reference stuff in the library now.
Okay.
So I probably go back and fix that at some point. Or unless you want to, but or I can just tag you after I get a chance to do that.
Yeah, whatever. Tag me for review on it once you get that one knocked out.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, so I'll work on that. I'll make sure it's actually supported. I just see that the PR says merged. I'm not sure, what that means.
We assume a lot these days.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else? I'm not sure. Do you think it's still helpful to have these every week, just check-ins? I think it's nice for me to have, weekly deadline things, but if it's only just for me, we don't need to keep doing this.
It's fine for me too. It makes
Yeah.
sure that I don't forget about it because it's easy for me to out of sight, out of mind, and I get focused on other things. And so
Yeah.
if you want to just have a quick 10, 20-minute conversation, just catch up and make sure we're all in sync, that's fine with me.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure we're not, because we've been having short ones. I want to make sure we're not just wasting time, but
Nope, not wasting time
cool.
because I want to see this for all kinds of stuff. And so it'll be nice to have that generic, here's how we do tough in a registry
Yeah.
out there and official. And so it's valuable.
All right, cool. And hopefully I'll have more code by next week that we can actually look at, but we'll see.
Sounds good.
All right. I guess that's it. So
All right.
have a good weekend.
All right. Until
Thanks
next
for
week.
doing this. All right. Bye.
Take care.